4-5 FM, KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, the Blitz.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio. 94.5 FM if you're on the go. Slow down. Go to ESPNSA.com because if you go there, you can watch us live. See, we funnel through the variety of the interwebs, send our YouTube channel through our ESPNSA.com page there in London, through Facebooks, but wherever you go. When you get there, you'll see Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. James Pledger taking us to 6:30. We got the Rangers this evening. We'll take you all the way up to there. Let's talk about the Spurs playing again tonight, the second half of a gentleman's doubleheader. Taking on the Denver Nuggets tonight, trying to rebound off the schneid. Lots of discussion as to the quality of the Spurs team and the want-to of their players and the ability of their coaches as they're in the worst losing streak in a generation. I mean, it's been decades since we've suffered through something like this.
Yeah, welcome back to the 80s. You look at it and you think about where this team is and the angst and the teeter-totter that they're on. You know, do we really want them just to completely tank and get into the lottery? And I know there's some that want that, others that want them to keep playing. And quite frankly, you know, I think a lot of us, I don't want to speak for you, Rob, but tell us exactly what the plan is so I don't have to figure out, well, has Pop completely lost his mind and forgotten how to coach, or have these guys completely forgotten how to play basketball, or what are they doing? Because there are some times where you want them to be a winning basketball team, but they're not playing like one, yet they're going to continue to tell us how good they are in shoot-around. Who gives a damn how good you are in shoot-around?
Yeah, we hear once again, another player tells us practices are popping. We're just leaving it all on the floor over there. We just don't know how to bring it over here. But when we practice, it's good. We'll talk a lot of the Spurs. Of course, Masters continues, and Mr. Rose continues to kill. He's at 7 under right now. But I think the story of the day is Jordan Spieth, man.
The Valero Texas Open champion, 5 under for the tournament. He is just cruising right along. I mean, you know, so good for the Valero Texas Open, so good for Jordan Spieth, so good for the Texas Longhorns.
For golf, yeah. This is like a shot of adrenaline. This is what golf desperately needed, is one of those young bucks to step up in the void of Tiger. Well, as Tiger watches from on high, leaning on his little rolling carts or whatever he's doing to get around, we get that next. The ones we've been waiting on. You know, it's perfect timing. Let's hope this rolls through, because if he's in contention on Sunday, it's going to make for a fine day of viewing. Just can't wait to see it.
100% agree. I think we're burying the lead, and Pledge is going to get mad at us if
we'll
we
get
don't.
to it. No. We got a lot to talk about.
I mean, he's
today.
already putting stuff up on the screen and dancing around. I mean, I think he's. I think
our listeners have jumped the gun.
Yes.
Okay. Happy birthday, James Pledger. You, nobody personifies more about San Antonio sports than you, my friend. And we're so proud to work with you. Thank you for everything that you do. We'll talk about it continually today. James Pledger, our producer, celebrating 40. He's going to be at the Roo Pub later. Just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Shots at 9 o'clock, around 9, because he's got to go home and watch cartoons first, because that's what every 40-year-old man does.
It's not cartoons.
What are you watching?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The new episode dropped today.
Is that not a cartoon?
It's not.
Okay, whatever. I mean, but Pledger's birthday plans.
Did you honestly think it was a cartoon? Did you honestly think that he was going home to
Rob's watching it
to watch a cartoon?
That's what he told me.
Stimpy's on. I'm going to go home and
he told me he's going to FaceTime AC and they're going to watch cartoons. That's what he told me earlier today when I took him lunch.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. The new episode drops today.
You also buried the lead. It's to FaceTime my old bro, man, on his birthday. I'm down.
Yeah.
It did drop. And as much as WandaVision was introverted and self-congratulating television, I thoroughly enjoy this one.
This one's great.
Yeah, this has got Jason. It is. You will never to date. I have not seen better special effects for a television show, for a program that was made exclusively to be viewed on a screen and on a television screen and not a movie screen. They spent more money on that than I've ever seen a television show spend, and it's worth the view, even if you don't like the plot.
What channel is it on?
It's on a stream. Maybe.
Disney Plus.
You got to log in and go get it. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
I've got Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I have no idea, but I swear to you, when I took Pledge lunch today, and he said he was going home to watch cartoons with AC. That's literally what he told me. He didn't tell me Falcon of the Millennial Crest or whatever the hell he just said. He said he was going home. He was hoping to get out of the station by 7 because we get done at 6:30. He's going to go home and FaceTime AC and watch a cartoon, and then he'd be at the Root Pub at 9. You told me cartoon.
I don't know what your brain thinks it hurt.
That's really it, isn't it? You heard Falcon and Falcon
Winter
Crest
Soldier,
like
and
you
you
thought
were like,
you just heard.
cartoon.
And your mind said cartoon.
Well, I know James,
that's what happened.
and I know AC, but I promise you, the dude said cartoon. And I think Evan Jones, seriously? You're going home to FaceTime AC to watch a cartoon? Yeah. Well, it's the new one. I mean, at that point, I don't have a clue what he said. And yes, the other answer to the question I've gotten, I don't know how many people that didn't tweet or write on Facebook, although a couple did, but the amount of text messages and or private message I have today said, Pledge is really 40? Yeah. Pledge is 40. 40.
He's aging well.
40.
You should have seen him last year. He looked like he was 12.
He still does. I put a picture up from, 2004, and Pledge looks exactly the same.
Hair was a little lighter.
I was going to say, I did notice a little bit of peroxide damage, but other than that, you look about the same.
Well, you remember when the football teams used to all dye their hair blonde for the playoffs? So did Pledge. But same suit, no socks, messy hair that's perfectly in place. Yep. That's James Pledger, 40.
That does sum up 40 years of glory. We'll continue to celebrate James Pledger's birthday. We also going to look. RJ Ochoa is going to join us for our weekly. We'll do as much Cowboys talk as necessary, but let's not kid ourselves. He's surrounded by a bunch of screens watching every angle of the Masters, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk there. This brand new baseball call. Some of the greats back. The likes of which will make time forever. You will put those specific plays in context. I can think of a few from recent years. That's a Manu Tres still sticks in my brain. The great call for the big play. That's important, right, Jason? You're a play-by-play guy.
It is, and again, I know I am one that tries not to go negative on a play-by-play guy, and again, but then sometimes I hear things that are just so cheesy. I know there's people that love like a Gus Johnson call and other people that hate it. Everybody has their own call. I love Bill Land coming up with the Pirtle Jam. And this is kind of along those lines. You ever had a Pirtle Jam? I mean, I've seen a couple of them, and I kind of wish, I wish Bill would take the Pirtle Jam and somehow work in a song title, I think he could have a lot of fun with that. What a Pirtle Jam. He was a better man than you on that one. Something like that. There's creative and then there's ultimate cheesy. You got to put it in context though, man. I guess that was a song lyric you're throwing out there. Yes. Okay. I wanted to make sure. Okay. So you look at what the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim's broadcaster did for Mike Trout. And this might be the cheesiest of cheese calls that I've ever heard. Go ahead, Pledge. Hit play on that bad boy. Maybe not. Maybe we won't hit play on that one because it's so cheesy.
I got it.
That it's afraid to come out of the hole.
You say it's your birthday.
Crazy.
As we search diligently for
I got it.
The latest and greatest
call. I just had
to
pause what was going on in the background because the show was also playing, which is why you heard minutes on a delay.
Well, here's the pitch, and Mike Trout swings at that one and drills a ball deep into left center field. It is Trout here. Boy, he hit that one out of sight there against Stripling. Trout has been on fire. That's home run number 3 of the season.
Uh-huh. It's Trout.
Swing and a miss. And the whiff. Hey, man, I don't blame him. Every now and then you got to lob a hand grenade. Every now and then it'll hit. That one.
It is Trout here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that one. Yeah.
That's awkward.
Yeah. And he stayed up late thinking that, coming up with that. I mean, in the off season, somewhere on the golf course, he was trying to figure out.
What do you think of what is it, Brian Jensen? What do you think of Brian Jensen's guns up 3 ball?
You'd have to play it for me. Is that the dude from Texas Tech?
Yeah, Texas Tech, Brian Jensen, and his that's a guns up 3 ball.
Yeah, I mean,
hey man, that sticks. I'm down. But the Trout one is too obvious. We're going to listen to some of the better ones.
It is Trout here.
See, that's Phil Dunphy. That's from it's staged. It doesn't.
That's 100% Phil Dunphy.
See, while it has its it's humorous, as Jason said when we first heard it. Can you imagine having to hear that 45 times this year?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that again. I didn't want to hear it the first time. But we will listen to the very best. We're getting ready for the Spurs game night, San Antonio at 6 o'clock. Remember, we're going to do it a little early because we're getting out at 6:30 for the Texas Rangers. Jeff McDonald of the San Antonio Express News will join us. When we come back, we're looking at those Spurs with one question I leave you all with as we go to break. Are the Spurs a well-coached team? And what are the attributes of a well-coached team? We'll compare and contrast. Coming back. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. And if you're on the go to ESPNSA.com.
If you are in the need of getting your logo on some gear, whether it's a hat, a shirt, a mask, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery Club over there on San Pedro. Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from: medical, restaurant, service industry, construction. Your office is opening back up. You need some shirts for your employees so you got that professional look around the office. Get into Sammy's Embroidery Club. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, there's no better place to go to get your logo on gear because nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Check the website, samsembroidery.com, or go visit the massive showroom on San Pedro. It's 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. All items come with a warranty, and you work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now. Call him, 210-824-3900. 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
There's only one way to do Saturdays with the Saturday Morning Hangover. James Pledger and Jack Thompson getting you ready for all the weekend's games and then some. Saturday mornings 9 to 11, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Jason Minix here for Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, no better place to go than Ancira. And I can tell you firsthand, I am a long-time Ancira customer. Through the years, I've bought many vehicles from Ancira, including one that I have now. My daughter's car is from Ancira, so is my niece's car. Heck, half the people at the radio station drive vehicles from Ancira, including the birthday boy, James Pledger. And it really is because of how well Ancira takes care of you before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with all the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available. And price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
Golfers, tee it up this year at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with the hottest new arrivals from Titleist. Introducing the new Titleist TSI family of drivers. The new TSI drivers are faster in the air, longer off the tee, and straighter down the fairway. 4 drivers give you maximum performance for any type of dedicated golfer. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Diamonds Direct Spectacular Store-Wide Spring Sale is on now for a limited time. Get an extra 20% savings on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, eternity bands, colored gemstones, gorgeous designer jewelry. It's our first spring sale in 2 years, and we're breaking all the rules. Top designers have flown in their entire collections, each piece on sale. 20% savings off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable value price. We're talking extreme value. Shop online or in store. Even open this Sunday noon till 5. Diamonds Direct, official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys, at the shops at La Cantera.
Blake Stevens with San Antonio-based GPS of Texas. If you have commercial vehicles on the road, you're a target for personal injury lawyers. I mean, you're wearing a bullseye. Our system can protect you if there is an accident with proof of speed, video monitoring, even proof that your driver wasn't on his phone. Don't get hammered. Have real proof that you weren't at fault by installing our GPS camera tracking system. Call GPS of Texas at 210-587-7634 or gpsoftexas.com.
It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half, that feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you could pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
It is the Blitz. Welcome aboard ESPN San Antonio. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Happy Friday to you. You've made it. And happy birthday to James Pleasure. 40 years old today. San Antonio Spurs have not celebrated appropriately for James's birthday. They did not plan well. The last 10 games have been miserable, specifically the last 4 as they've lost 4 in a row. They are 2-8 in their last 10. Steadily declining in the Western Conference. They sit at 9th place, a full game ahead of Golden State, who also appears to be racing to the bottom, and the Pelicans right behind them. They're not too far behind, quite frankly, the Memphis Grizzlies, though 2 games seems a long way away as we sit today. And I asked the question, this actually came up, I was having a conversation with my brother, our weekly conversation, and he asked me, are the Spurs a well-coached team? And I couldn't answer the question.
You know,
I couldn't definitively tell him.
Well, and again, I mean, I think we'll ask you, 656-ESPN, 656-3776 on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. We do know they are coached by one of the greatest coaches in the history of basketball. This team, though, the way they've been playing, you could debate if they're being well coached. And even the great Tom Landry, people were calling for his job right before Jerry actually fired him. You know, you're coming off a 3-13 season, team was for sale. People were calling for Tom Landry to lose his job. You know, every great coach at some point, you wonder, when is it time? I don't think that they're there yet, but I don't know what Pop's plan is. You know, Pop is so ingrained in this Spurs organization. I don't think he's got anything but long-term plans in place, whether he's a part of them or not. So he's not going to leave the organization with the cupboard bare. But they don't look like they're developing young players the way we thought they were going to by the minutes they're getting, especially late. But some of the mistakes that we see a team making over and over again, there's a difference in not being very good and making these same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again.
And that's really it, isn't it? Pop's one of the greatest coaches to ever coach a sport, let alone basketball. It's not about his ability to coach. There's no question in anybody's mind that Pop is not an extraordinary coach, but it's not reflected in what we see from the Spurs, especially over the last 2 weeks, especially. Now, certainly we always get into reasons and excuses, but there are things that you can control. And the Spurs, for whatever reason, aren't controlling those. They're not consistent. They can't defend without fouling, if they even know when they are actually defending. They're not very fundamentally sound. I mean, when you go down the attributes of what a well-coached team looks like, you start in my brother Jason Thompson's words, stolen from Dan Rather, I believe, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, at what point do we not have to just call it what it is? This team is not fundamentally sound. They continually make the same mistakes. There's no continuity.
Oh, wait, whoa. No, Rob. I mean, we're not seeing it on the basketball court during the games. But apparently their practices are just fantastic.
I mean, shoot-around was great. Great energy. We hit shots. I think going to the game, just staying locked in, decreasing the mental mistakes, and after that, just play basketball.
He's one of the dudes.
Yeah, that was Keldon Johnson. 2 days after DeJounte Murray told us how great things were going at practice and shoot around. And I don't care how well you do at practice. I can tell you every time I go to play golf, since we're watching the Masters, I'm crushing it on the driving range. Well, I can't do squat on the course. Who cares what you're doing on the driving range? I don't care what you're doing in shoot around if it's not translating to the basketball court. I'm tired of hearing about practice, Allen Iverson. Tired of it.
Do you feel like the players are able to maximize their available skill? That they're put in situations to utilize what they're very good at the very good time to get it done?
Yeah, I don't know. I am still in Pop We Trust camp.
I am
too. But we have seen players that have left San Antonio, like a Bertans, that, now granted, he doesn't play any defense, but, he was making a lot of threes up there in Washington. And what do we miss right now? Now, I realize the domino effect. They thought they were bringing in the Morris guy who backed out. There was a lot of things that played into that. But, were we getting the most out of Bertans while he was here? I guess is the question. And probably based on what we've seen him do since he left here, the answer is no. But was he?
Do we
doing
feel
what
like
he
we're getting the most
here?
of anybody now? Some of the guys that are kind of fringe, peripheral, 10-minute a night, Devin Vassell type guys. Luka, even to a larger degree. Do we feel like we're maximizing their talent?
Well, I mean, I think we're.
See,
and again, because I know where the conversation is headed, and I'm not trying to. Pop has not forgotten how to coach, and this isn't a poorly coached team.
No,
and so I don't want to say something that's going to be interpreted that way. I don't want to. For somebody to hear what I'm saying and interpret what I'm saying, that I think Pop has lost it, needs to go. I'm not on the fire Pop bandwagon, right? I mean, you could joke about it after a 3-game losing streak when you're winning titles. You can't joke about that now. But there is something fundamentally wrong with this basketball team right now that Greg Popovich and his staff have yet to figure out how to fix. And we also know that the idea that this team and Pop is evolving because the game is evolving and his talent is evolving. I know Pop is learning on the fly and doing things differently than he's always done. But at the same time, I look at what's going on right now and, you wonder, is it players or is it coaching or is it a combination of both? At one point, Brad Stevens was considered the second best coach in the NBA behind Greg Popovich, and now they're talking about firing him. Bill Belichick, is it Bill or was it Tom? You know what I mean? I just, and what was it? LeVar Arrington on his podcast and his show talked about Bill Belichick's seat is warm. His seat ain't warm. Who you kidding?
No, but the end is nigh for both. I mean, we all know that the end is coming for both these coaches, obviously, just by the time spent. And I think that plays into it as well. Ain't nobody firing Pop, and nobody says that Pop's a bad coach. But if he didn't forget how to coach. We know that, and we know that he has this ability to do things that he just hasn't done lately. And he'll be the first to tell you it's the players. Great players make great coaches. That's just how it works. If you have a coach that can make an average player really good, yeah, that's fun for a lot of games. But titles come from great players making great coaches and vice versa. That's how it happens. And he's always been the first to say that. But with this group of upwardly mobile but not superstar players, we're not seeing that kind of improvement. We're not. For whatever purpose, it was either a missed draft, a misapplied offense, internal strife, COVID, whatever the reason or excuse is, we're not seeing the elevation. We've seen steady improvement, but not enough to even win a couple of basketball games over the last 10 games, when really we're halfway through this season for rookies. And we're a year and a half in for others, even though COVID's shortened. But we've been playing pretty consistent basketball for the last year, which leads to the last and final thing that we come to. Is it just physical exhaustion that we've reached? Have we seen the Spurs just hit a wall to which all guys on this team, due to ins and outs and being sick and limited playing availability and players leaving, and that they've just hit a wall of which the schedule is just going to preclude them from being competitive on a regular basis? And if that's the case, they all come to the end of this. Why aren't we seeing some of the younger guys?
Well, and that's again, I think twofold part of it. And you just said we've seen steadily improvement, and that falls on good coaching, but they're not winning games. We know this schedule is brutal. We knew it was going to be brutal. We didn't think the game results were going to be as brutal as what we're seeing. Hell, you got blown out at home by Cleveland. Too many bad losses. We do know everything you just mentioned certainly factors in on. You don't necessarily want to call it excuses because it is realistic. Right. But call it excuses if you want. We do know those that dealt with COVID. They're the ones that, tend to be struggling a little bit. And you look at a Zeke and you look at a Cam Newton and guys like that we know had it, and their performances suffered after they came back, and there's just not enough time in the game schedule to allow these guys to overcome that extreme exhaustion that they're dealing with. And so I do think that is a real factor. But it's still the mistakes that they're making. It's one thing if you're short on shots or you're reaching for fouls because you're tired, but the mental mistakes that we seem to be seeing when guys are just left wide open, that's the stuff that Pop can't tolerate.
Can't tolerate, but hasn't fixed, or at least it doesn't appear that to the evidence that they've attempted to fix. We can count on at least 6 points a game on just not getting back up after made baskets. Yep. A made bucket, we can count 3 times in a game they're going to get thrown over the top. That's basic stuff, yet it's consistently happening. The switches when Patty Mills is in, at some point, please don't make him guard a post again after his second switch. Just fix those little things where you go, I don't understand what's happening. We'll continue talking Spurs. We get the Denver Nuggets again tonight. Jokic might just perform some more surgery, or the Spurs might put together a full game. We'll have Jeff McDonald to talk about it. But when we come back, we'll get you caught up at Augusta. The Masters continue. The leaderboard is getting interesting. The VTO champ rising like a bullet. We'll talk about it next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
It's a Friday. You're going to fire up the grill this weekend. You want authentic sausage on that grill, the kind you could find in a butcher shop back in the old days. Then Kielbasa smoked sausage is what you've been looking for. And you see at Kielbasa, they make their legendary smoked sausage in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood, just the way Rufus Kielbasa did back in 1949 when he started the company here in San Antonio. And they're still a great local company, and all that great sausage is made right here in San Antonio over there on South Brazos Street. At Kielbasa, they are on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats. So when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you'll ever eat. Michael, Kielbasa guarantees it'll be the best. If it's not, call him. He'll give you your money back. He puts his phone number on the back of every package sold. Kielbasa sausages now available at Walmart. And, of course, you can find Kielbasa sausage, bacon, chorizo, and those great breakfast links at an H-E-B near you. You're going to fire up the grill. Go get some Kielbasa today.
Scenic Views, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Every Friday on the Blitz, tune in as we get you ready for the sports weekend. What's on? Big games, intriguing matchups, how to watch them, and more. Scenic Views by Twin Peaks, every Friday on the Blitz.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, your home to 7 days a week happy hour. Come eat, drink, and socialize safely at all 4 Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar locations. And now you can join us bright and early at the newest location, Slackers Medical Center, now opens at 7 a.m. to serve our valued medical community. Nurses, doctors, frontline workers, and staff, we thank you. Slackers Medical Center at Fredericksburg and Medical Drive. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info. Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, now with 4 area locations to quench your thirst.
Hurt in an accident and bills piling up? Thomas J. Henry can advance living expenses on qualified cases. Start your claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
What can help you take advantage of today's low mortgage rates and save money? Rocket can. You could save hundreds of dollars every month by refinancing with Rocket Mortgage at today's near historic low rates. If your current rate is over 4%, with today's low rates, you could lower your payment by over $150 a month, saving thousands in interest every year. With a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, you could consolidate and pay off high-interest debt, tackle home improvements that could add value to your home, or even set aside cash for your child's future education. We've already helped over 1 million clients just like you reach their home financing goals this year alone. So remember this. What can give you the technology to refinance easily and save money? Rocket can. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Savings are based on quick loans, internal rate, points and fees may apply. Call for cost information and conditions. See housing letter, license and all 50 states and analysts consumer access .org.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up a non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. Fever is a leading symptom of COVID, and using an accurate thermometer has never been more critical. In published studies, no-touch thermometers miss more fevers than they detect. While the new COVID vaccines are becoming more widely available, it is important to make sure you are protected. Monitor for fever with an accurate thermometer backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Details at Exergen.com, where accuracy matters.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app anytime, anywhere. Listen to more than 300 stations along with more than 3,000 podcasts from your home area or across the U.S., all free.
With the radio.com app.
It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half, that feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you can pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Wow, look at the talent here tonight. What's up, Shameless? Oh, hey, 90 Day Fiancé. Grey's Anatomy. I see you. Futurama. Looking good. Blackish. Come here. Solar Opposites looking fire. The Handmaid's Tale. Shrill. What's up, Palm Springs?
Don't be weird about it. With everything you love, the choice is easy. Time to have Hulu.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. If you're on the go, it's at ESPNSA.com. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Sitting atop the Masters leaderboard is Justin Rose. Comes in at 7 under. But the story today, Jace, is Jordan Spieth, 5 under for the day, charging toward the top, making for what could be a wonderful weekend of Texas golf.
Well, and you look at Jordan Spieth, the Valero Texas Open champion. Was he at 4 under for today, 5 under for the tournament, currently tied for 4th. But one of the bigger stories is another San Antonio guy. Abraham Answer. Did you see this? I mean, that dude shot 300 today, or he's still on the course, but he's at 300 now. He's having a hell of a day after getting royally screwed yesterday by some moron that apparently called the tournament office and told on him. Now, I don't understand a lot of the golf rules. So if you're one of those golfy types, 656 ESPN, he posted a video on Twitter, Abraham did, and said he was devastated that he was informed because his club touched some sand prior to contact, that he was deducted 2 strokes for that. Now, I watched the video about 8 times before I realized what he actually did. There was no intent there. And I thought the rule, and again, I don't know all the golf rules. I thought the rule was it had to be like visible to the naked eye. You have to see that in super slow motion, and not everybody's shot is filmed in super slow motion with the camera right. I mean, like, that cost you 2 damn strokes because some moron called into the office and said he touched the sand. What?
I don't know, man. I mean, the rules are the rules.
But honestly,
did he break the rule with the narc?
Did he break the rule?
No, I don't think he knew he did. Right? He didn't have any idea he had. Right?
I don't think he did.
He was reported, and he went, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm devastated to find out that I did." So I don't hold him any ill will. I have a problem with the narc. I seriously, I know you need to.
Well, I mean, golf is the only sport where you can call and I don't know what the office looks like. I get the visual that it's, Tony Romo at the Corona desk just answering calls. Oh, you think Abraham cheated? Let me pull up the videotape. Let me turn this in and we'll investigate. And then what do you go knock on his door? The Dave Baker from the Hall of Fame, 2-stroke penalty. I mean, you could tell there was no intent there. I don't think he intended to cheat. You can see a little bit of sand leave the hourglass, I suppose, but I can't believe that cost you 2 strokes in golf.
Who has the time?
What I mean?
That's the other part of this. I know a lot of us are working from home, but at some point you go, because there's not a golf hotline. I'm sure he spent some time on hold. After a while, you go, I'm out. Your call is important to us.
You're not. Are so many people calling the golf hotline that you're going to be on hold? I think that poor bastard was hoping to talk to somebody.
So is there a PGA rules informer hotline out there? I don't think you could just reach a PGA official with one call. You have to be dedicated. It's a mission. He hates Abraham Answer. Well, you don't love the rules so much, do you?
My guess is he's got money not on Abraham Answer. He's got money on somebody else. Because you got to factor in. There's got to be some cash on the line to be that much of a dude to call in and report him.
This has happened before.
It has.
It's a golf thing. It's a golf thing.
I don't get it.
In the words of the great Dusty Baker. Raise your hand out there if you haven't cheated on your taxes. You, sir, you and me. That's you and me. Yeah. Who here hasn't cheated on someone they loved? Who? I mean, seriously. People in glass houses, toss the first stone. Come on. I don't know, man. I find it very strange that just a member of the public could get on the horn and affect the Masters. I guess I should feel good about that.
Well, I mean, look, don't you think there's some Saints fans that wish they could have called a rules official a couple of years ago in a championship game and said, you might want to look at that. I think that was pass interference.
Well, see, football goes, it already happened, dude. It already happened. Sorry, can't. Sorry, no do-overs.
But what really bothers me with this, and it's not that Answer is a friend of the show, but it's the idea that something that way, like if he would have been caught. Like taking the club and clearing a path to make it easier, or my famous foot wedge, which gets used often, and if there was video, I'd probably lose more than 2 strokes, right? I mean, we all cheat at golf, but something like that, I cheat at golf. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, there's times I might just throw the thing. I'm driving around, I can't find. Oh, there it is. I mean,
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Is it cheating if you tell everybody you're doing it?
No, that's why I figured, it's like, is that one yours? Yeah, that one's mine. Way up there, man. I'll hit from there. Or my shot's so bad, I'm just going to play yours. What the hell, man? Because one thing I don't do, play for money, because I'm not in the habit of just giving it away unless I'm in Vegas. So when you look at the idea that this guy lost 2 strokes yesterday, and he's having a great day today at 3 under. He's going to be even.
Wait till I look at the tape. I don't know how good a day he's had. I'm going to go back and look at the tape, and if I see something a little sketch, I'm getting on that hotline.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's not somebody, and it cost him 2 strokes. But I mean, he's literally, if he had those 2 strokes today, and so if he's even now, you put him at -2, he'd be somewhere in the top 15 right now, heading into the weekend.
I want that golf hotline. Somebody find that for us. I want the number, the informer number to the PGA. I want that number. If John Q. Public can call in, then I'm getting on the horn. I'm going to volunteer
about to
my
make
services.
their day living out.
I'm volunteering my services as an ad hoc golf marshal. I'm going to buy the stream like RJ Ochoa, and for the next couple of days, I'll take over, guys. I got you.
I mean,
if anybody can affect it, then why not me? That's the way I look at it.
Well, but again, though, not every golfer on every shot gets the same camera angles. It almost seems unfair that you could get penalized because they were super slow mode into your there. I mean, it's an uneven playing field.
And
somebody called the Corona hotline and talked to Tony Romo.
When I walked on to the Augusta National, that it was going to be fair. I don't remember seeing in the bylaws that it was going to be a just and fair thing. Some of these guys are actually better than me. I don't think that's fair.
Who made Tony Romo the arbiter of golf rules?
Well, I mean, look, he would have saw it coming. I mean, if Tony Romo were sitting next to Jim Nantz right now, he would have seen that the sand was going to get patted down prior to, and then probably somehow warned Answer, hey, careful there, careful. But yeah, I mean, some guy named Thompson sitting on his hill saw that on video and then called in a penalty, 2-stroke. I mean, clearly, you had your money on Answer to be no better than 2 under.
No, I will give you my solemn oath that I will have no money nor know anyone who is actively gambling on it as I make my decisions. But I am going to volunteer my services to the PGA. I'll go ahead and enforce your rules for you. So if golf slows down tomorrow, it's just because I'm stepping in.
See, Jason Day just finished. He's at 9 over. I'm sure he did some things that weren't right. He's going to finish at +14. Somebody's going to go back through his
I haven't
videotape.
looked at the tape yet, Jason. Yeah, this is a temporary thing. Tell him to use pencil. We're going to be back, and I'm going to look the tape. Maybe it might be 11 over for all I know.
saw a blade of grass move with Justin.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and make sure you sign that card because otherwise it's really unofficial. And by the way, before somebody calls, I know it's not the PGA rules, it's the Masters rules, but it's the same damn thing. I mean, they have their own hotlines. You got to call.
As long as I, as a viewing member of the public, have the ability to call in and speak to an official or send them a strongly worded text, I think we're all going to be just fine. And I'm just glad that that's going on. Coming back, let's continue on this Masters thing because we've noticed a thread here. When you describe Augusta National, it sounds like heaven, right? You have to whisper when you say it. Is there any other athletic venue in the world, in any sport, that is looked at or talked about the way that Augusta National is? I wonder. Yeah. Let's talk about it next. Well, is there? Because I don't think when I sat in Wrigley Field, I thought heaven. I thought this is pretty cool. It wasn't described to me. I didn't have the golden light of the azalea shaded. I didn't have that. I had a cold beer at Wrigley Field in the bleachers. It was great, but I didn't feel like I.
See, you were in the bleachers. Had you been under the grandstand, you had to worry about the falling bricks that could hit your head and send you to heaven. So, I mean, you would have been thinking about heaven.
There's a difference between bucket list destinations and places described like you would describe heaven or the Sistine Chapel. That's how we talk about Augusta. Is there anything else out there that comes even close to the way we consider
I'll give you one on the other side.
That's what we want. Coming back, you're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. Did you wake up this morning patting your back a little hard? And, I don't know, maybe you did something successful and pulled something. I don't know. Maybe you're living in pain. If you're dealing with those ongoing kind of pains and strains like I do, bad hamstring, bad knees, if you got a frozen shoulder, everything in between, you need to call my friends at Arasti. I went skiing a couple weeks back and came back with a very sore back. That's one of my issues that I carried around. It's a problem, always has been. I started going to Arasti a couple years ago. First of all, I don't bother it, or it doesn't get hurt nearly as often. And when it does, I'm out of the problem in half the time, because Arasti, that's what they do. It's not about the pain. It's about fixing the problem, and the problem stops 9 times out of 10. The pain does as well in a remarkably short amount of time. In fact, Arasti has done studies of the hundreds of thousands of patients around the United States. How often did they have to go back to Arasti before they felt healthy enough to get back in the game? The average, 3.2 visits. Think about that. It took me a month to get over my bad back. If that's the same for you, call an Arasti provider today, and before you know it, you're going to be back in the game. And you know, when you call an Arasti provider, you're not going to have to worry about getting a referral. Just go ahead and make your decision. Here's the number you need: 1-800-404-6050. Again, 1-800-404-6050. Non-invasive. This isn't about long-term treatment programs or over-the-counter prescribed medications. It is your body being manipulated to stop those soft tissue and painful injuries that just nag so many. Call an Arasti provider today. Go to their website, arasti.com. There's a website there with all that you need, a map to all the local providers, great tips and tricks, videos of ways to keep yourself healthy, and of course that phone number to get your appointment. Call an Arasti provider today. Get yourself out of pain. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call an Arasti provider today, and I know you'll thank me later.
It's time for ESPN San Antonio's Big Score. This hour's keyword is commerce. Enter that keyword at ESPNSA.com for your chance to win $1,000. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Golfers, tee it up this year at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with the hottest new arrivals from Titleist. Introducing the new Titleist TSI family of drivers. The new TSI drivers are faster in the air, longer off the tee, and straighter down the fairway. 4 drivers give you maximum performance for any type of dedicated golfer. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Nobody plans on getting arrested, but it happens. Get out of jail fast by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. Call AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans and are open 24/7. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you that running a business is tough, but you might be making it harder on yourself than necessary. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. It's time to upgrade to NetSuite. Stop paying for multiple systems that don't give you the information you need when you need it. Ditch the spreadsheets and all the old software you've outgrown. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Everything you need, all in one place instantly. Whether you're doing $1 million or hundreds of millions in revenue, save time and money with NetSuite. Join the over 24,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Let NetSuite show you how they'll benefit your business with a free product tour at netsuite.com/radar. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
Waiting for spring is one thing. Waiting for spring savings is another. At the Home Depot, you don't have to wait for either one. Our best prices of the season are here now. In-store, online, store-wide. Get a 40-volt battery-powered Ryobi string trimmer for just $159. And more savings on everything, from fresh paint to power blowers. You've waited long enough. Bring on spring. The Spring Savings Event, now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid through April 18th while supplies last.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, And now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Go there to watch us live, watch our YouTube channel, or win any of the myriad of contests we have going on at any given time. You get the keyword every hour. Go upload it at ESPNSA.com. Win yourself $1,000. Just another reason it pays to listen all day, every day to ESPN San Antonio. Jason, are you a Kane Brown fan? Is that a no? There you go. I actually saw Kane Brown for the first time about a year ago. Pretty good performer. I like him. Now,
well, he's the country singer.
To define him as country, to define Kane Brown as country, I think is a bit of a stretch. I do think he has very good music that is played on country stations, but they could equally play it on a lot of different stations, and no one would question it. It's good music.
That would be the kind of show that my wife would take me to, and I'd have a really good time and go, "Oh yeah, he sings that. I've heard that." Is that what you're telling me?
That's probably exactly what it is. Well, he's coming to San Antonio in October the 16th. He's going to be at the AT&T Center.
Wow, the fact that we're talking about a concert coming to San Antonio, I don't care who the hell it is, I'm going.
Feels good. October the 16th. In fact, those tickets are going to be on sale next Friday, April the 16th at 10 a.m. At CaneBrownMusic.com and at the AT&T Center box office. You know why I know that? Is because we actually have a pair of tickets.
I was going to say it's written down in front of you. Apparently, why? We have tickets to give away. I should go to meetings more often, but you need
to. Well, maybe we do, maybe we don't. Those tickets might disappear. Since you missed the memo. By the way, I'm going to be off October the 16th. I got a dentist appointment.
But of course you do.
If you didn't get the memo,
back seized up.
It's going to seize up.
That's the 17th.
But this one, I'm planning ahead.
16th is the dentist. 17th back is out.
There you go. I was rinsing. I would jerk in pain, and then it caused my back to go out. But we do have a pair of tickets. And
crazy, you're taking a Saturday off.
Since it's better that I have to. It's a Saturday. Well, hell. Oops. Anybody see it? There was an envelope with tickets right here. And I don't. I hope I find them. And if I do, we're going to give them away at 5:30. So you want to hang around here. We're giving away a pair of games. They might be here. I don't know. It's on Saturday, you tell me.
It's right there on the copy in front of your face.
Now Rob's got to figure out. What time does A&M play on that
Where are
Saturday?
Your glasses, Rob? Did you already lose them?
There you go. There you go.
Let's go ahead and read this. I can see right through you right now.
It's
I can
October
literally
this year,
see
right?
into your soul with these on.
I don't have one. Don't worry.
Let's see. Let me read this in its entirety here. ESPN San Antonio welcomes Kane Brown live at the AT&T Center Saturday, October the 16th. We're so excited to tell you that their tickets are going on sale Friday, April the 16th, but no sooner than 10 a.m. at CaneBrownMusic.com and the AT&T season. AT&T. I was going so well. It was really flowing there. AT&T Center box office. A special pre-sale. Now you want to mark your calendars. This is a Thursday, not a Saturday. So April the 15th, from 10 a to 10 p. That's radio logging. ESPNSA.com has your special pre-sale code and a link to get your tickets early. But we also have tickets to give away, as I just spoke of, and we will do that at. I'm really intrigued. How are we going to do this code thing? I can't wait to read more of this.
Well, you know what I'm seeing with Robin? We're going behind the curtain here a little bit. And for those
I've been
of
able
you
to read
watching,
a promo suite in weeks.
I mean,
my mind went so bad. I just was winging.
But you're wearing these glasses, right? Rob got some new readers in the mail yesterday. And he's wearing them, and it's amazing that he can actually see better. But what I'm noticing is some guy that, has worn glasses for a long time, and I've tried everything to get out of glasses, but my eyes just refuse to work properly. But I see you're reading the copy, and then you look up, and then you look down, and that where everything went from out of focus to in the focus, and it will take you. Well, yeah. So, but because you're not wearing your glasses all the time, you're screwing with your mind. So that's why it will.
Is that
look? That's
what
exactly.
it is. It's the glasses.
I saw you just. You look down. Well, the voices in your head is something I can't help you with. But you looked up and then you looked back down and couldn't find your place because all those letters were going from in focus to out of focus, and you were wondering, did you already take shots today? What was in that? What was in that water?
It's yes.
Been there, done that, man.
It is an adjustment for sure.
Are you done reading that thing yet?
No, you still got sponsors and stuff in there.
Oh, okay. Well, pay it off.
It's in perfectly bold print right here. Again, keep listening. And to win your way free. Kane Brown live in concert October the 16th at the AT&T Center from AEG and ESPN San Antonio. Whew. Well, we got a crazy part.
that wasn't even in bold. That just with your glasses on, it looks in bold.
It's coming at me. It actually feels like it's raised off the paper now. It's
oh yeah. It's Braille. It turned into Braille for you. So
if I'd have had Braille, I wouldn't have gotten these.
And imagine if you had glasses, how much better the Augusta National would look. I mean, you've just gone from crappy television to HD for the first time. When you put on your glasses, it's like vibrant colors. You got three or four things that you're looking at. Yes, officer, I'm fine. But we were talking about it. Where are places described like we talk about Augusta? And there's a difference between that and bucket list places. Lambeau Field or Wrigley, like you were mentioning, Fenway, those are bucket list places. But there are very few places that I think you get that cathedral type respect and awe. And we were talking about this earlier, as on the Golf Channel now, they're talking about what we were with Abraham Answer yesterday, just so you know. And you look at that, and with your glasses on, you can see that. That was a penalty. I'll never understand that. But I digress. We were talking earlier about those great stadiums. I think Madison Square Garden still has that cathedral sense to it. You go to the Garden, you are going to the Garden.
But is it a bucket list thing but it's not beautiful. We don't say that Madison Square Garden is pristine and clean. It's not. It's far from any of that.
It's special. And I think that's what you're looking for. There's a difference between one of those special historical sites and a bucket list place. Because it can be both, Wrigley and Fenway are special places, and Lambeau, but they're more bucket list. But, when you're going there, when you're watching, say, the Rose Bowl, it is there. But I think one that gets compared to, just in the United States, to Augusta, Churchill Downs. On Kentucky Derby Day.
Perfect.
Kentucky Derby Day, you get Churchill Downs. I mean, and there's a difference between, say, Augusta and Pebble Beach. And Pebble Beach is, oh, my goodness. But I don't know if it's on the same level as Augusta, but I do think like Churchill Downs gets the same kind of treatment that Augusta National gets. And Jerry
World. You're exactly right. I think that few places live up to the beauty that you expect to see, like Churchill Downs did. I completely agree with you. But the difference with Pebble Beach, obviously, one of the more remarkable scenic places in the world, let alone a golf course. But that's God's doing. We just kind of laid a course on top of it. Augusta's been created, from the length of the blade of grass right in mid, ninth hole on the left-hand side. That's been looked at 10 times. I mean, it's been created and manicured to the extent that they have reached as close as they can to perfection. And there's just not a lot of sports places in the world that I look at it like the way that. I do think that there are. I've never been to Wimbledon, but I assume it might feel that way. And you brought up what's the French Open?
Roland Garros. And even like Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. There are certain places that are special. And I know I'm going to sound like a homer, but Jerry's World, I think, falls into that category now. It is such a destination.
It does live up to the bargain. I'll give you that.
That people will travel there, go to game. I mean, that's why there's so many fans from opposing teams. One, there's 100,000 seats, but two, and I think we're going to see that in Las Vegas when football opens in Vegas. There is going to be that attraction, although it looks more like a Roomba. But I think that factors in. The soccer stadium in Mexico City. I think you see it, and as soon as you see it, you're just kind of in awe of it, more so than just another stadium.
What about another golf course? But it's always spoke of in such high regard. It's where the game began, St. Andrews. The old course.
The old course, St. Andrews, I've never had the honor to play any of them. So I couldn't even begin. But by the TV standards, it looks like they're playing in an open field.
Well,
it's not a pretty thing.
It's not beautiful. I mean, it's right on the ocean.
Beauty.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it was
but
beautiful. I said in regards of the way it is spoke of Augusta.
But it is spoke of in angry terms. You know, they talk about you have to beat that course. You know, the wind is coming, and
it's like
not
Bethpage Black. You know, when you think of beauty and fun, the TPC in Scottsdale where the Bridgestone is at, which was also the site of one hell of a Super Bowl party one year, but that's another story. But I mean, that place, you go there for, Bridgestone's known for the parties. I mean, that's or not Bridgestone, the waste management or whatever they call it there at TPC. I mean,
BFI.
It's known for their parties, a completely different atmosphere than what you get at Augusta.
It's a beautiful place. I envision heaven. You get there and it looks just like Augusta, as Jim Nance would describe it.
And when I tried to get in, they told me no. I remember driving. I took a picture by the sign in the road. You literally have to park on the side of the road, try to get a picture there, man. Security won't even let you in enough to even see any part of that golf course.
Yeah, that's the other part of this story that we did not get into, the negative side of Augusta. I found them. Here they are. Kane Brown tickets. We're giving them away at 5:30. Coming back, we got a lot to talk about. Hang here. You're on the Blitz. 1250
Your wife said she's busy, huh?
Yeah, I got the text. 94.5 FM and on the go at ESPNSA.com. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. All right. This weekend, the sun is out. It is absolutely beautiful. And you need to go think about what you're doing all summer long. Alamo Cycleplex is open. This is a showroom with 7 of the best power sport brands in the world. You've got great service, financing options for any of the toys that you see. But you got to go and see what I'm talking about. You're looking for a new bike and you need expert guidance to get there. My goodness, they've got it. Dave Sears put together a team that is there and puts you absolutely first. Service for all the vehicles that they sell and the things that they have to offer just in capsule fun. I had a Honda Talon. It's one of those 4x4 just zoom rocket mudmobiles. I don't know how better to describe it. It's the most fun I have had on top of Thompson Hill in a long time. There's nothing better than getting your family together, head out to the great unknown and zoom around on a power sport vehicle, head out to the lake on a variety of water sport vehicles, get yourself a 3-wheel type, run down the highway with the wind in your hair like a slingshot or a Vanderhall. And of course, the bike selection is extraordinary. But they've got electric vehicles too. They've got electric bikes that'll blow your mind. You're looking for helmets and all the gear to go along with it. Alamo Cycleplex is the place to go. Outstanding environment. Take the kids, their family first there, and go see what is available to at remarkably great prices. Get in line though, man. These things are coming short. You got to go get them now, or you're going to be left out when the summer is here, as it's almost. You want that power sport vehicle. The ride starts at Alamo Cycleplex, I-10 in De Zavala. Go check out the website. Read all those great reviews. AlamoCycleplex.com. Power sports. Have yourself some fun. Bring the family. They're waiting on you.
Howdy, San Antonio. Chip Ingram from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, inviting you to come out and enjoy patio season. We have newly remodeled patios, garage doors, and everything else you need to enjoy this great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks. Happy hours daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And our kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. See you soon at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road.
If your dream vacation does not include your spouse, it might be time for a permanent getaway. Call the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. The Divorce Dude will help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude will fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. Call George, the Divorce Dude, 210-201-0303. That's 210-201-0303 or DivorceDude.com.
911, what's your emergency?
This car, an SUV, it was going across, it went around the barrier and the train. Oh God.
Ma'am, did a train hit an SUV? Is that what happened?
Yes, the train is still going. The train is going and the car, I can't believe it.
You can't judge the speed of an approaching train. That's why the signals are there. Stop. Trains can't. paid for by NHTSA.
Waiting for spring is one thing. Waiting for spring savings is another. At the Home Depot, you don't have to wait for either one. Our best prices of the season are here now. In-store, online, store-wide. Get a 40-volt battery-powered Ryobi string trimmer for just $159. And more savings on everything, from fresh paint to power blowers. You've waited long enough. Bring on spring. The Spring Savings Event, now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid through April 18th while supplies last.
If I learned one thing from this great game of baseball, it's that she'll humble you. You think you've got it figured out, you check the standings, and you're in last place again. I'm Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM, and I can put my team in position to win every single time, but I can't play the games, people. At least Progressive's Name Your Price tool has options based on my budget. It never lets me down, unlike my pitching staff. Amateurs!
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
ESPN San Antonio, all day, every day. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM, KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minutes, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. It's Friday afternoon. You made it. It's 5:05 in the blessed PM. The weekend spreads before you. And don't mind them brake lights. We'll get you all the way home. You're looking for something to do on October the 16th? I'm busy. But so we'll go ahead and give those away. We got a pair of Kane Brown tickets. We're going to give away in about 30 minutes. Yes, live music at the AT&T as Kane Brown will come to San Antonio in the middle of October. So hang around for that. The Spurs taking on the Denver Nuggets. Game night San Antonio will get going a little early tonight as we're out at 6:30 as the Rangers get going again this evening. So we'll get to have Jeff McDonald join us as we look to the Denver Nuggets, see if they can steal one up there at the Ball Arena. I want to always say McNichols, but that's not right. You can't say that anymore. It is the Ball Arena.
No,
and by the way,
can't say Pepsi Center either.
Oh, Pepsi Centers too. See, I just dated myself saying McNichols. They were this Alex English and Fat Lever was still running around back then. They were, but anyway, but I digress.
And I think Nichols Arena,
Jeff
and I
McDonald.
think Joe Sakic and the Colorado Avalanche and Patrick Wad when they were really good in hockey.
That guy Roy, he was pretty good.
Yes, yeah. Pat Roy was fantastic.
He was Roy. Is that what we're saying? Hang around with us for an hour and a half as we head all the way fast forward toward the Rangers. Right, RJ Ochoa will be with us in just a second. I'm beating around the bush. The Spurs are gonna lose tonight. They're gonna lose 3 of their next 5. They're gonna steadily kind of maintain between 9th place. They'll probably rise up to 7th. At some point. They're not a horrible team. They're going to win some games in a row, and they're going to put things together. But at the end of the season, they are what we think they are. This is a mediocre basketball team that needs pieces and parts. They're woefully short on some things that they need to be successful, some of which we might have, right? I mean, we might know that we're looking for a three-point shooter, and he might be sitting on our bench, but we don't know. My question to you as we head toward Denver tonight is, if we are what we think we are, where do we put Pop in this problem? Is he the creator of the problem? Is he the solver of the problem? Or is he just the caretaker of the problem until he leaves? Because it's far beyond him.
Well, I think the caretaker and the solver. I think the creator of the current Spur problem, all that blame lies on a guy that used to play here that wore number 2. Because when he decided he wanted to leave, it kind of screwed up all the plans. And as every good Spurs fan will, we blame Kawhi. And it starts and ends there when you're playing the blame game.
When
and then you're trying to pick up the shrapnel.
When do we stop the Kawhi
2074. In 2074. But honestly, I mean, the plan was set, wheels were in motion, and everything looked very bright until Zaza stepped on his ankle, and it's gone south from there. So I blame him.
That's a long time ago.
In all seriousness, that's all right. I mean, the domino effect, man, is still out there. But I mean, you look at tonight's game. The Spurs just can't get healthy and get right. You get a Lonnie Walker for tonight's game, but you lose a Georgie Dang. He's going to be out because his shoulder. So it's like when do we see a full squad that is somewhat healthy? And until you have that, it's really hard to determine how good or bad this basketball team is. In all fairness to Pop, and I'm on that. Dude, just set everybody tonight. I mean, let all the kids play. Let Drew Eubanks run some minutes. Luka get 38 minutes tonight, and do everything you can to beat Dallas on Sunday. If your plan is to try to make the playoffs, you're not going to win this game tonight if you get 33 minutes from DeMar and 35 from Derek and from DeJounte, and you play the rotations like you have been. You're still not going to win this game tonight. Lonnie, he hadn't played in 12 games. I mean, I'd be happy if he gets 15 minutes total in this game tonight because, Pop isn't going to put him out there and overuse him in his first game back.
Do you think DeMar's coming back?
I don't know. I mean,
do you care if he comes back? Have we gotten to that point yet? Do we care?
I care. I don't know if you care. And I've at first I thought that he was gone. And then I listened to the way he talks about his team and his teammates. And I see the effort from DeMar. Now, granted, he's a pro, but I've never questioned that man's effort, ever, right? No. And he seems to love his teammates. So I was kind of hoping that he would sign a deal in the middle of this season. It's because at least then, as a fan, we would know what the long-term plan could be, because there's a very different plan with DeMar than without DeMar, right? So now I would like to think that the Spurs brass have a pretty good idea of what DeMar's thought process is, and they're making a plan accordingly, but we don't have that knowledge, so it's hard to see out. But I do like DeMar to help bridge this gap over the next 3 or 4 years with the additional help, because I mean, you look at the draft, and I'm hoping at this point we get to the lottery. But if I was a betting man, I would not put money that DeMar DeRozan is a Spur next year.
Well, the trade deadline was March the 25th, 26th, 27th. It's been a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
It's been the eager anticipated move didn't occur. Gorgie Dang arrives. LaMarcus is bought out and very quickly snapped up by Brooklyn. And you look at what has happened since the trade deadline. The floor fell out. Well, things were sinking prior, but at the trade deadline, we're looking at a Clippers beating, a win against the Bulls, and then things fall apart the weekend after that. Kings embarrass them. They bounce back. Hawks embarrass them. And here we are with the Nuggets. I think DeMar told him he was leaving.
Beat down.
Oh, the Cleveland beat down too. I think he told the boys, I'm out. That's the only thing I can take from this. When that came and went, it wasn't LaMarcus that things fell apart. Yeah, we've had a few injuries, but nothing that we haven't dealt with before. It's not the quality of the teams that we're playing, except it has been for the last two. Certainly Sacramento didn't frighten anybody. They had been on a losing streak. We saw the Cleveland come in on a losing streak.
Sacramento came in as a hot team and beat us. Cleveland is the one really bad loss that I would say is rock bottom, the most current of rock bottoms. And maybe you're right, but DeMar's not playing like a guy that said he was out. And when you look at Derek and DeJounte's last couple of games, I don't know that I buy that. I really don't.
Okay, I'm trying to find reasons for the collapse, and I've yet to find them other than disinterest or poor coaching. I'm trying to. There isn't that much difference from the team that we had winning than we see now, other than time. We got most of them
Aldridge.
Here.
We were winning with LaMarcus Aldridge. We say that, but
he was our good luck charm.
I mean, we say that. I mean, whatever it was, but, this team, and at the beginning of the year, he was still our best player. But we didn't know how he was going to fit. What we saw in the bubble, we didn't know how he was going to fit this year. But this year, they were making it work with LaMarcus. And when LaMarcus left and went to the bench and then left the team, things have gone to hell. They have. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's true.
It's hard to quibble when you see a team that's playing as badly as they are. Let's talk with RJ Ochoa. Look at the Dallas Cowboys and east toward the majesty that is Augusta National. RJ Ochoa joins us next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. Where are you going right now if you're not going to Twin Peaks? You're not going to the finest happy hour in play on a Friday afternoon. Bourbons and Brews is going on, and don't forget about the costume. Great bourbons, those top-notch ones, Pappy and Weller, and all the ones that you look forward to having. Twin Peaks got them. You can pair that with local brews and national brews, the finest to come out of a tap, served to you at 29-degree cold temperature. They celebrated National Beer Day the right way. And as you arrive, know the Masters is on. You've got great baseball all weekend long. Scenic views to be had when you head over to Twin Peaks, but Bourbon and Brews gets it going tonight. Lingerie costumes paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings and giveaways. The specials are spectacular. The food is scratched with a brand new menu to go along with this spring weather. Great locations around San Antonio, easy to get to, 151 and 410, De Zavala and I-10 in Park North, right there in Loopland. Head over to Twin Peaks. Eats and drinks are spectacular, but be honest, why are you going? It's those scenic views.
No Justin Bieber bump music here. Stop it! Knock it off! San Antonio sports leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
You feel stuck? Are you living in pain? If you are, I want you to call my friends at Arasti. Arasti providers, they specialize in getting you out of that pain in a remarkably short amount of time. Arasti providers around San Antonio are experts in getting into those soft tissue injuries, those sprains, those strains, those frozen hips and joints, those plantar fasciitis, sore feet, and a sore neck that you can get from just the tension headaches. Arasti is non-invasive. You get in there, they'll take care of the issue without having to deal with long-term treatment plans, not going to deal with over-the-counter medications or prescriptive medications as well. They just take care of the problem and the pain subsides. It's remarkable. It's worked for me many times. You need to get out of pain. Call an Arasti provider today. When you do, you don't need a referral. And when you walk in, of course, they're taking up most insurance plans. They're following every possible protocol. They do have telehealth visits as well, and they will coach you on how to keep yourself away from those constant use pains, those things that nag and drag and will not let you go. Here's the number to call for your appointment, 1-800-404-6050. Their website is a valuable tool, Arasti.com, spelled AIRROSTI.com. Becky Hammond, Tony Parker, Clayton Kershaw, just to name a few. If you're living with pain, go to Arasti. They'll fix it quick. Do not let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call an Arasti provider today, and I am sure you'll thank me soon.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 10 locations and check out the Kubota L2501 tractor package deal, which includes a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package deals at ewaldkubota.com.
The next generation of auto detailing is here. 303 Graphene Nano Spray Coating. Simplicity meets a new level of performance. Get a year of protection from a powerful graphene oxide formula. A formula that sends water flying off paint, wheels, and trim. Go beyond wax, beyond ceramic. Be part of the future of exterior protection with graphene nanospray coating from 303. For more information, head to 303radio.com.
Spring makes all things new, and the Home Depot makes all spring things possible. Start a garden, refinish a deck. Use our mobile app to put over 2 million products in the palm of your hand. Some ready for pickup in as little as 2 hours. Oh, and if you don't have the tools you need, our tool rental department does. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
It is the Blitz. Welcome aboard. You're on ESPN San Antonio. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Glad you're with us. We're going to be giving away some Kane Brown tickets here in about 15 minutes. But in the meantime, we are joined, as we are on every Friday, by RJ Bag of Donuts Ochoa. Looks like we're meeting with a mob type in some dark room. But RJ, welcome aboard as you view the Masters in some kind of comfortable setting.
Yeah, it's good to be with you guys. I prefer a bag of Spud Nuts to a bag of donuts personally. But I came to my parents' house, so everybody's downstairs watching. I have, duties that supersede the Masters, honestly, like jumping on with the best radio show this and that side of the Mississippi.
When you go on
so well, I mean, I wouldn't go on with anybody. I wouldn't go on with anybody that isn't restaurant quality. So, I mean, that's why I'm here, to be frank.
Yeah, but when I follow your Twitter, you go to a lot of different restaurant quality radio shows. But we'll take that now. I'm getting an echo in my headphone pledge. I don't know if that's with RJ's setup or something coming up on my end. But so it's annoying as hell. But I wanted to ask you though, because you went to your dad's because apparently he has more screens than you do at your house because. I know you've changed positions and got about 40 different screens up watching the Masters.
Yeah. So yesterday and today, I was really, really into this whole setup. Obviously, I have 2 computers that I use for work, so 2 laptops, and I have an external monitor attached to one of them. So that's 3 screens right there. I have to work on one, so one is devoted to work.
You didn't do any work yesterday.
Master screens.
You didn't do any work yesterday.
So two of those screens, my iPad was on the Masters. My television was on. I actually have a small TV as well, and I have 2 TVs. So all in all, 5 total screens on holes 4 and 5, Amen Corner, 14, 15, 16, the featured group, the broadcast. I mean, I've got it all. I've been living the life.
What did you think of the penalty on Abraham Answer?
And why did you turn him in?
I would never turn in friend of ESPN San Antonio, Abraham Answer. I think it's a stupid rule.
Did he actually break a rule, though?
He did. This happened to Patrick Reed like 2 years ago, and everybody
another San Antonio guy. Why do they hate San Antonio?
Because we have the best golf courses in all the land. They just are jealous of the Valero. Why do you think they're jealous that Jordan Spieth won on San Antonio soil, baby? I mean, they've been trying to will Jordan Spieth into winning everywhere else, and it finally happened in the 2-1-0. But, I feel bad for Abraham because you all know he's a cool dude, honest Abe. You know what I mean? Like, he would never do this.
And he didn't do it on purpose. I think we can all agree that was a foul that he would have called if he had known that he'd actually done it. But I just can't get over – just a listening or a watching fan can change the outcome of the Masters. There's no other event in the world can that even become a possibility. Like Jason talked about earlier, Saint fan couldn't call the NFL and say, that was interference. Oh, yeah, let's do it over. Let's go ahead and that only in golf does that occur. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but it's certainly a strange thing.
That doesn't make you feel empowered?
I volunteered my services. I'll put together a setup much like yours, and I will become the golf eye in the sky. I will be I'll do it ad hoc for free. I'll just put together my own stuff and just give me that hotline number, because that's really all I want. I want to have that phone number. Where can we find that? Because
actually,
I would like to talk with
somebody tweeted it to us. So
there is one.
You can't
there is
call
in fact a real. Is it a 1-800 number, or is it a? I long distance.
I haven't checked that far into it, but I did see somebody tweet us the info. But I get the feeling that it's the Tony Romo sitting at the desk, that the Corona hotline answering the call with some dude dressed like RJ Ochoa with his Masters shirt on and his Diet Coke in a Masters koozie, and he's got the Masters hot on, and he's drinking out of the Masters cup with his $150 pimento and egg cheese sandwiches and cookies and his bag of chips, and then he sees a foul and he calls it in because he wants to be that guy at the country club bragging that he cost Honest Abe 2 strokes.
I mean, I would never turn in Abe. I would turn in you guys, but I would never turn in Abraham.
We know.
I mean,
we know.
You guys can't hook me up with a bottle of Flecha Azul. Meanwhile, Abraham can. So, I mean, he offers something that makes it worth letting 2 strokes slide.
So you can be bought.
I can.
Oh, yes, indeed he can. He is RJ Bag of Donuts Ochoa joining us here as our OG Rock the Mic winner and Blogging the Bones editor. All right, let's talk about the draft cap before we talk about the team. What is it? Literally the worst piece of apparel the NFL has released, and I can't even begin to.
Since last year's draft hat.
Well, no, the draft hats are like they're the when they put together next year's theme. Last place in the theme presentation gets the draft day hat. They got it all put together. So what's the worst of the ideas for next year? That's always the one that I think lands on it. It's never good, but this is I don't know who this is aimed at. A flat brim trucker cap. I don't know exactly. You can't bend both ways. You can't enter both worlds. You get one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's coming for a trucker hat type situation, like the folks in like Tyler, Texas, are maybe into this. That's about it. Rob, I know this is tough for you because, well, you grew up in an era, Rob. Like I'm sure you had Zubas. You know what I mean? Like so, this has got to be tough for you to deal with.
I got them on now, baby.
I mean, it is an abomination. But what I will say is if you look, every team has 2 stars on their hat. Every team's mascot name, like the word Cowboys, is bordered by 2 white stars. So literally every team has stars on their cap, including the Cowboys.
It's the sincerest form of flattery. RJ Ochoa joining us. What are the Cowboys going to do about backup quarterback? Where are they leaning?
Man, you guys are worried about backup quarterback on the Friday of the Masters? That's what's, got y'all, losing sleep. I mean, I suppose
we can talk Justin Rose if you'd like.
No, I'm just saying Garrett Gilbert, I don't see any reason for them to move on from Garrett Gilbert. I mean, Andy Dalton's QB1 in the Windy City, so I think you let Garrett handle it. He handled the Pittsburgh game rather well. So it's Garrett's to lose, and Ben DiNucci's. If the Cowboys draft a quarterback, Ben DiNucci's just been served as walking papers, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and it wouldn't surprise me if they drafted a quarterback in the 6th or 7th round. But I do think with a healthy offensive line, if you get the RG3, the Brett Hundley types that are still available cheap as a serviceable backup for a couple games to help. But I liked what we saw from Garrett in the one game. I wish we would have got to see a little bit more of him, down the stretch when we all knew they were out, except Mike McCarthy didn't know they were out. And just to really know if you do have a legit backup quarterback in Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah, I mean, I think he showed more than anybody else. So obviously, you're right. The sample size is really small. I agree with you. It would have been awesome to have seen them kind of punt the season and let him play instead of Andy Dalton. But it's now you've got somebody that knows your offense. Like you're not at a point where like everything's new anymore. So don't make as many things new as you don't have to. I mean, keep yourself with a level of continuity. It's Garrett Gilbert time. I mean, who doesn't love Garrett Gilbert besides 2008 University of Texas fans?
If it's Garrett Gilbert, is that an admission that the Cowboys have come to the realization that if we lose Dak, it's all over no matter what. So why pay any money to any kind of quarterback?
But like, who is that not true for? Like,
true, like absolutely.
I mean, maybe the New Orleans Saints, right? But like everybody else, it's like if your dude goes down, we'll see you in September, because like that's the life in the NFL. So yeah, I mean, I think it's worth having your kind of like wily veteran, your young project. If it's not Ben DiNucci, if it's somebody else, a lot of people want it to be Kellen Mond for obvious reasons. That's the way to roll. I mean, and I think that's a solid quarterback room.
All right, so on a real conversation, not the backup quarterback isn't important. The idea that Jerry would take Kyle Pitts at number 10. Yeah, Rob. So I will tell you firsthand, if Kyle Pitts is available at number 10, you take him. You sprint your card up to the guy that takes the cards and give it to him. If Kyle Pitts is available at 10, you don't trade up to go get him. But if he's there, you cannot pass Kyle Pitts.
Shameless self-promotion. I just did a video on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel about this subject. If anybody wants to check it out, search for Blog on the Boys on YouTube. Hit subscribe. Rob Thompson has done it. He watches our videos late at night when he irons about 3 a.m.
Like, listen, and share.
That being said, there are a group of people who would not want Kyle Pitts even if he made it to 10 overall. These are the people who eat their hamburgers plain and dry. They don't even season the meat. They eat crinkle cut fries when curly are an option. They dip their nachos in cheese instead of like pouring the cheese all over all of them. They're people who live a very boring and pedestrian life by all measurements. Kyle Pitts is the second best player in the class. If you can take him at 10 overall, you do it. And if you don't, you are a fool. Unless you're Rob Thompson, then you're just a little misguided in this particular subject.
Unless you're like a lot of people and realize investing in the future is not about the flashy new toy, especially when you got the special dispensation and got this flashy new toy last year when you should have addressed some needs on the defensive side of the ball. Now, we did that. We understand it. You got your toy. Now, as we went through a season of ridiculously bad defense, you don't have the opportunity. It is not the prudent thing to do. It is not the wise move. It certainly looks good, and it'll be a lot of fun to play with, but you're no better off. It is football chewing gum. It tastes good for a little while, and then suddenly you're down 21-0 because your defense can't stop anybody.
Kyle Pitts will help the Cowboys defense more than Patrick Surtain.
So here's the thing. Does anybody not excuse me, happy birthday to James Pledger. Does anybody that is not the birthday boy know who Kaylavon Chason is?
The defensive kid from Louisiana. He was expected to be something special. Maybe.
Right. So Kaylavon Chason, had the Cowboys drafted for need, had they said, we just have to improve our defense, they would have drafted Kaylavon Chason instead of CeeDee Lamb a year ago. Like, is the Cowboys' need at tight end larger than at corner? No, there's no question about that. But of the two players, Kyle Pitts is far more likely to be a Hall of Famer than Patrick Surtain. And so you take the best value and you figure it out. And you know what? Michael Gallup is already a trade asset as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if you really want to do something, if you're smart, you trade Michael Gallup, say, to the Baltimore Ravens. They have the 58th overall pick. It's their second round pick. You send Michael Gallup off because you got your new offensive toy, Rob, and I know you don't want too many toys in the house, because then they get messy everywhere. They don't get put up and everything. So you take that 58th overall pick, you take your current second overall pick, which is 44 overall, and you get back into the first round to draft Caleb Farley, who's fallen because of his medical situation. So you still walk away with a corner.
If they fall into place, I think that's a wise move, if, in fact, it could fall into place. But that's gambling on something that, quite frankly, I just don't believe the Cowboys need it. Is it fun? Yes. Will it help? Yes. But at the end of the day, offensive line, defensive edge, you got to have to address it at some point. Good defenses do, in fact, matter.
But of course they matter. But you don't sacrifice the purity of looking for the best possible player in the name of your specific need.
Because I like watching RJ Ochoa's head explode, and this really won't, but I think the analogy that I hear the most when talking about Kyle Pitts is the story about Johnny Manziel, and they ended up taking Zach Martin. This is so ridiculously far and different away from that scenario. It's a bad example that so many people like to use when trying to talk about Jerry Jones, because in this particular case, if Kyle Pitts is at 10, there's nobody in the room that would try to talk Jerry out of doing it. Steven would be sprinting. Will McClay would be sprinting. Mike McCarthy would be in the sand somewhere doing backflips if Kyle Pitts was available at number 10. It is so not even close to being the same as, do we want Zach Martin or Johnny Manziel?
I think, Jason, just quickly, a lot of people have said this is just like taking Zeke, right? Like, that's what Patrick Surtain is. Take Zeke, whatever, when instead of Jalen Ramsey. It's actually, people have that mistake, and it's actually the opposite. The Cowboys reached on Zeke because they had a need at running back, which is a bad idea in general. But they said, let's draft Zeke because we have a need at the running back position, as opposed to saying, who was the future Hall of Famer that's on the board at this particular moment? And at that particular moment, it was Jalen Ramsey. So Kyle Pitts is Jalen Ramsey, whereas Patrick Surtain is Ezekiel Elliott, a fine player, blue chip prospect that does fill a position of need, but really great teams and really great coaches just take the best possible players and then figure it out. Rob, you're right. Like, at some point they have to address.
But we're also talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
And at a certain point, they have to address the defense. But they do have 6 picks in the top 100, or 4 picks in the top 100. They have 6 picks in the first 4 rounds. They have a lot of ammunition. And you know what else they have? They still have salary cap space. And I'm not saying this is the answer forever, but you want to go get Richard Sherman to kind of prolong your, put duct tape on the cornerback issue for now so that you can take the best possible player. I mean, I think that's what you do. That's what we would do, Jason, if it was our team.
I'm not sure you're wrong. I just feel like it looks too good, and at some point you have to address other problems. You just can't go luxury pick after luxury pick year after year. And if they addressed other needs, maybe a lot of people would be a little bit more amenable. It's always a pleasure to catch up with RJ Ochoa. Enjoy the Masters. Who's the last 4 we're going to see on Sunday?
Ooh, the last 4. I think Justin Rose is going to play himself into the final pairing. Justin Thomas. And I think Hideki's going to get in there.
Another J. Jordan Spieth.
He's part of the G5.
And for you know what? Jason was Team Pitts. Let's screw it. Jordan Spieth's joining the Final 4 on Sunday. He's in the penultimate group. Not the final group, but the penultimate group. And that's as far as I can go.
He's in the last 4. That's what we're chasing. He's RJ Ochoa. Thanks for stopping by, man. We'll talk to you next week. When we get back, it's Trouta here. Doesn't really work, does it? No. We'll figure out what could work and listen to some of the best and make fun of a brand new call that should not stick. Hold on tight. You're on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
It's a weekend. You're going to fire up the grill this weekend. You need to get over to Tri-County Meat Market. 2 locations here in San Antonio, and they have everything you need to up your grilling game. The beef, the chicken, the pork, the fajitas, the poppers. They got it all over there at Tri-County Meat Market. You're going to fire up the grill. You need to get in there, and their specials this week. I'm thinking steak.
Steak is exactly what we need. Creekstone Prime T-bones are $14.99 a pound. Creekstone Prime Porterhouse, a fabulous cut of meat.
Yes, sir.
And the New York Strip, $15.99 a pound. Go slap that on some charcoal, get some butter garlic going along with it, and the fat content of these Creekstone, not going to need much, and it's going to melt in your mouth. Picanhas at $8.99 a pound. Smoke it, grill it. It is spectacular. Texas-raised Akauchi ground beef. That's a luxury cut right there. You want to talk about some hamburgers, $8.99 a pound. Tri-County offers, of course, 10% discount to military and first responders. 2 locations, easy to get to on Huebner Road, out on Ralph Fair. Go check out their website just to get you hungry, tricountymeat.com.
Hey y'all, I'm Grant Pinkerton of Pinkerton's Barbecue in downtown San Antonio. We only smoke prime meats with a blend of post oak and mesquite. Come see us for some of those giant beef ribs, tender brisket, and a cold big red. We have a Texas-sized bar, great selection of bourbon, and tons of local beers. I love sports, so we have plenty of screens to watch them on. We're open Wednesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner or until we sell out. Come early, come hungry, and stay late.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, Here's a repetitive ad. Okay. Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition, so to help you remember, the Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Here's a repetitive ad. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Since the pandemic began, family violence has dramatically risen and victims are more vulnerable with fewer options for support. By providing shelter, healing, and prevention, Christie's Hope creates an environment where women and children can feel secure and allow the healing to begin. Thomas J. Henry has proudly teamed up with Christie's Hope to help bring an end to domestic violence. You can help too. It's time to prove we are all in this together. Please show your support for those in need.
For more information, visit christieshope.org.
The San Antonio Gunslingers of the American Arena League are gunning for their 3rd straight win Monday night when they host the Austin Wild at the San Antonio Rose Palace. 2 weeks ago, the Gunslingers beat Austin 34-24 in a wild one. Round 2 is Monday night, and it's Public Servants Night. Police, fire, and EMTs get in free with their credentials. The Gunslingers versus the Wild, Monday night at 7:30. Get your tickets now at SanAntonioGunslingers.com. That's SanAntonioGunslingers.com, or check them out on Facebook.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
Mark Starr didn't play much his senior season at Alabama after a coaching change left most seniors on the bench. That didn't stop the Green Bay Packers from taking a chance on Starr, drafting him in the 17th round of the 1956 NFL Draft. The gamble paid off. Starr went on to a Hall of Fame career with 5 NFL championships, as well as winning the first 2 Super Bowls in NFL history, winning the MVP of both.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Professional football teams are preparing to strengthen their teams with draft picks this month. As you think about growing your business, could the right hire make all the difference for you this season? LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the best candidates with the experience, skills, and motivation you need. Post a job in minutes with your must-have criteria, and LinkedIn Jobs will match you to the most qualified people across their network of 740 million professionals. Post your first job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
It is the Blitz. Game Night San Antonio comes at you in just a few minutes. Remember, we're out early this evening. I promised it earlier, Jason. Let's do this. Kane Brown is coming to San Antonio on October the 16th. Now, the tickets, they go on sale Friday the 16th, April 16th at 10 a.m. You can buy them from CaneBrownMusic.com or at the AT&T Center box office. They got a special pre-sale that's going on Thursday, April the 15th from 10 a to 10 p. ESPNSA.com. We got your special pre-sale code and link to get your tickets early, but we also have tickets to give away right this moment. They're going to be for October the 16th. It is a pair. 656-3776. That's 656 ESPN. Caller number 9. Number 9. I don't know why I chose 9, but 656-3776, 656 ESPN. Kane Brown live music back on the horizon here in San Antonio. The AT&T will be popping with Kane in October the 16th. We're excited about that. Coming back, it's Trouty here. It was a worthy attempt. A great call gone awry, or maybe something that sticks. We're going to talk great play-by-play calls and the bad ones when we come back. It's Trouty here. No, still doesn't work. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You know, April is Kamado and Pellet Grill Month over at Barbecue Outfitters. And, you know, for 24 years running, Barbecue Outfitters has been one of the largest Big Green Egg dealers in Texas and the only with the 3 best brands in ceramic cookers, the Big Green Egg, Primo, and the incredible Kamado Joe. And in fact, I got my Kamado Joe there at Barbecue Outfitters. They have them all right now. They're all great. They're all amazing, and they're at the best prices of the year. So if you've been thinking about it, you need to get into Barbecue Outfitters. Great savings plus free assembly, free charcoal, and free starters. Barbecue Outfitters also has all their pellet grills on sale, including Traeger, Green Mountain, Yoder, and Memphis. They're offering instant in-store rebates for all qualifying products, including outdoor kitchens, Weber grills, Pollywood patio furniture, and much more. Store-wide savings to get your spring kicked off right. You know you're going to be spending a lot more time in the backyard. You want to smoke the right way. Make sure you get into Barbecue Outfitters. They're over at 1604 at Chavano Park, right there next to the Ridge Shopping Center. And get out there this weekend. Get out there tomorrow. Check out Kamado and Pellet Grill Month at Barbecue Outfitters, 1604 at Chavano Park, next to the Ridge Shopping Center.
It's time for ESPN San Antonio's Big Score. This hour's keyword is Austin. Enter that keyword at ESPNSA.com for your chance to win $1,000. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
If you're a bacon lover, I've got great news for you. This is Michael Kilbasa with Kilbasa Smoked Meats. Our authentic dry-cured bacon is now available at grocery stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies in our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. Kilbasa Smoked Meats, slow-crafted in Texas since 1949.
Diamonds Direct Spectacular Store-Wide Spring Sale is on now for a limited time. Get an extra 20% savings on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, eternity bands, colored gemstones, gorgeous designer jewelry. It's our first spring sale in 2 years, and we're breaking all the rules. Top designers have flown in their entire collections, each piece on sale. 20% savings off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable value price. We're talking extreme value. Shop online or in store. Even open this Sunday noon till 5. Diamonds Direct, official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys, at the shops at La Cantera.
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, pump, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through Ortho Connect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
It is the Blitz. Welcome on to ESPN San Antonio. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. We're out early tonight. Rangers taking on the Padres tonight. Pre-game get going at 6:30. We'll take you all the way to there. We're home for your Rangers all weekend long as they entertain the Pods. And as baseball starts, you know, the season begins. Now, is the play-by-play guy for the Orange County, Los Angeles, Southern California Angels, is he new, or is this
I don't know. I just heard the call and thought it was like one of the worst home run calls I've ever heard. And I don't ever like to be critical of play-by-play guys. I understand how hard it is, and you know, there's good, and some things can be cheesy. I just couldn't imagine hearing this 30, 40 times a year. And trying to figure out how he came up with it. Was he on a golf course? Was he having lunch somewhere there by the beach and thought, you know what? When Mike Trout hits a home run, I'm going to say it's Trout here.
Here's the pitch, and Mike Trout swings at that one and drills the ball deep into left center field. It is Trout here.
Really?
Boy, he hit that one out of sight there against Stripling. Trout has been on fire. That's home run number 3 of the season.
Uh-huh.
Trout standing call. That was Trout-rageous.
I mean, I know the guy's getting $1 billion, but come on.
What's the best call you ever heard? What's the one that when you think baseball, home run call, what comes to your mind? Because sadly, mine is not very good.
The one that, I mean, honestly, and growing up idolizing Milo Hamilton, you know, I think of Hank Aaron's home run call. I think of a lot of the home run calls he had on Lance Berkman, the Holy Toledo. And again, kind of cheesy, but it's not Trout here. Let's get Trout here. I mean, I just can't.
Sadly, because honestly, by my act and by deed, I did not grow up a huge baseball fan. My interests were elsewhere, and I didn't listen to a whole lot of baseball on the radio on top of that. Probably basically none. So when I think of great baseball calls growing up, all that comes to mind, sadly, is Chris Berman. And it's not even a call. It's a highlight. Going back. That's the one. When you ask me what the best baseball call for me is, sadly, that's what comes to mind. And I know that Vin Scully and Hamilton and Joe Buck Sr. and all these legendary guys have great calls,
or
but
Jack
none
Buck.
of them come. And Jack Buck. Well, I said senior. I meant whatever.
Yeah.
They don't come to mind. What were they? Did they have their own specific idiom of call, or did they vary it?
You know, a lot of them vary it. You know, I think the guy that used to do, or maybe he still does, the Seattle Mariners, he's got a nice call. And again, every city, you know, you grow up with the guy, and you know, whatever he does, you just kind of live with, because it's a part of the team. You know, it's, you know, the difference between, say, you know, Brad Sham with the Cowboys or Mark Vandermeer with the Houston Texans. You know, the Texans in Vandermeer's rock and roll call, or, you know, which
that's not bad.
You know, but again, though, it becomes just a part of the broadcast as listeners. You think about it, you know, Bill Lander, Bill Schoening with their various Spurs calls that become staples, but I mean, Trout here just seems so cheesy and so forced and so, dude, seriously, I can't.
As a guy who does that, does it have to be organic? Does it have to be something that just hits you in the moment, or can you try to write down one to see if it's appropriate before you play it or run it through or say it?
I think if you're coming up with a home run call for a specific player, then yeah, you can do that. What you don't want as a play-by-play guy is to try, like, if you're going up for a championship. You know, I remember talking to Jay Howard about this when the Spurs won their first title. And if I remember the story correctly, he thought about what he would say, and the Spurs were going to win that series against the Knicks. And he thought about it, but what we ultimately heard, you know, was a variation, because you're caught up in the moment. You know, you're in the moment when you're doing it. You know, you know, Al Michaels, do you believe in miracles? I mean, you know, it's so much better when it is, you know, just straight off the cuff, when the emotion is telling you what you need to be saying through that microphone, or not saying through that microphone.
Do you believe in unlikelihoods? That doesn't work either.
It really
I heard that
really
on the Ocho. What was the one? There was one call. This one for I forget which upset it was in the tournament, but believe the unbelievable. That was I heard.
That was the as soon as you said that, the name is escaping me, but the very popular on the Big Ten Network. She did a fantastic job. Mm-hmm. And I heard her on with Mike Greenberg, because, you know, Greeny had her on. She's a Northwestern grad. And what a moment for her to be able to have that call in that moment. And her story, and as what she told Greeny, is halfway through that second half, she had just written down unbelievable on, you know, in her notes. And when the game finally ended and Abilene Christian upset the University of Texas, you heard the natural call. She'd obviously been thinking about it to a degree, but in her notes and that's the other thing is when you're doing play-by-play commercial break, as a broadcaster, you're going through all kinds of notes, writing stuff down, checking things. I mean, it's actually a very busier time.
You're getting a beer. I've seen Major League. I know what's going on.
I mean, there was a reason you only did 1 year in the booth of Incarnate Word football, and it wasn't just because the football was so bad. It's because you actually had to work.
No, I wasn't very good at it. That's why it happened. It wasn't about
and you had a
skill set that I do not possess.
Anal broadcast partner in that time frame, who's very good at what he does, but very, very, very organized.
Let's not beat around the bush. I did a year of Incarnate Word football with the coach, Paul Alexander, when he was here. I was fresh back from Florida, and I did it. I remember sitting down in the booth to do our very first Incarnate Word football game. I forget who we were playing, and he had gotten there, I don't know, 6-7 hours before I had wallpapered his little area with, I don't know, 75 different charts of different of importance. He had just enough room to look out the window for all the charts, like he was looking out of a submarine. You could barely see with all that. I just sit down with a legal pad.
That's kind of how we did the show.
he looked at me and said, "Well, you ready?" I go, "Well, I got the game notes right here, and I got a legal pad. I think we'll be good." He didn't appreciate that.
I mean, and again, the prep work. I mean, you see how I do the high school football games and the amount of wallpapering I do, in that booth, and it comes with it. You have to be prepared to do play-by-play. About 4, 5, 6 hours of prep work goes into every broadcast.
That's why I was just there for added color, hence the term.
Which meant you should have done even more research so you could add the color.
Oh, I did research. I just didn't have the whole. I didn't have to look at the bars and charts to tell you exactly that they were just in a 2-deep zone and they keep rolling the safety over it. If the quarterback would actually play fake, you might actually get a deep ball. I can say that without needing a 17 charts to tell me that.
And let's be honest, you knew you were only going to get in so many words in the broadcast anyway.
Well, it was also wasn't going to be a whole lot of touchdowns scored. It was Incarnate Word football in the early days. It was those were some tough years, long before what Coach Morris has done right now as they fight toward the playoffs.
I remember the year I did Incarnate Word football might have been the worst. It was. I can't even say.
Oh,
it was
you did the year where there was a team mutiny.
Didn't you? Yeah. And boy, I tell you what. After that week, and I had to do the Mike Santiago show and. Trying to dance
no players
around.
Come.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly. Who we got for the players? None. So you for whole 4 segments, huh? You want to talk? No. All right, this is gonna be a good show. It was
Come
that
on
was
down
an
to Good
interesting
Time
year.
Charlie's and hang out with us and have yourself some.
But and then that year, Friday nights, I would do a high school football game, and I was seeing better football on Friday night than I was on Saturday. I mean, it was the dog days, and then we're driving to BFE for all these games. So you're either getting up in the morning at then the van driven by the great Wayne Witt was leaving at 5 a.m. or and after about 2 van rides, Duel and I decided we're just going to drive ourselves because at least then if we stopped and ate somewhere, we can get a beer. Because you can't do that when you're traveling with the Incarnate Word types. But man, we'd be in that booth calling a game, and there'd be a USC game on one laptop, and I'd have another game on one, and we're kind of half paying attention because it was 40-0 after the end of one. It was awful.
I got to see a whole lot of homecomings that year. That pretty much sums up a season. When you see 4 or 5 homecomings, they had planned ahead. They knew how your season was going to go long before. Hey, the Spurs headed toward a homecoming night up there in Denver. Well, we're going to talk about it next. Game Night San Antonio coming your direction. Brought to you, as always, by Mellow Mushroom. Jeff McDonald will enlighten us with basketball knowledge next. Hang around. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
The Blitz, weekdays 4 to 7.
Behind the scenes with Don Harris. Good luck. And man, we do thank you for stopping by.
Hey, fellas, now that I'm working from home and I drive in every day, I'm listening to you guys all the time. I love the show, man. Keep it up.
I appreciate it, man. I read your tweet and your text and say, hey, man, here's the background audit. Love that.
Don Harris joining us here on the Blitz.
I'm a fan, big fan.
Oh, my goodness. I feel like Pat McAfee interviewing her.
Oh,
I just froze a little bit in my seat.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Yeah, this season I actually had little business cards made. Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM. You can keep that. Sure, the players are famous, but come game day, I decide their fate. What's that? Oh, you make $20 million? Well, I don't like your attitude. You're benched! No, I'd never bench an all-star, but I could. That's also why I like Progressive's Name Your Price tool. With options based on my budget, they never throw me a curveball. It's a little baseball reference for you.
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, where we've got more ways to get what you need fast and take care of that fall tune-up. With our free same-day store pickup, you can order online and pick it up today at your local AutoZone. Or we can bring it to you with our free next-day delivery. Just order on AutoZone.com by 10 p.m. and we'll have it at your front door the next day. Getting your job done just got easier. Free next-day delivery on eligible orders. Restrictions at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. Online at ESPNSA.com. All day, every day. KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz for a second here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. But in our book, The Blitz is officially done as we are now preparing for the San Antonio Spurs Denver Nugget game. We like to call it Game Night San Antonio, and it's always brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. And we talk Spurs. We bring you the absolute very best. He is Jason Minix. I am Rob Thompson, and we are joined by Jeff McDonald of the San Antonio Express News. Welcome aboard, Jeff. How's your Friday?
Well, I don't know. I was getting excited because I was going to get to meet the absolute very best. And then
I mean, you were available.
This is exciting. So. This is exciting. Who's it going to be? And then it was me, and it was kind of a letdown.
Well, it kind of goes in line with what we're getting from the Spurs right now. Just an absolute letdown.
Exactly. I don't know how much you've broken down the film. I spent the last 24 hours just going over the whole losing streak, going over every play, poring over every inch of film. I dove into the analytics. I've crunched numbers, and what I've come up with is they're not very good. The Spurs, they're not very good. That's my takeaway.
And the fact is, you're right. They're not very good, and it comes down to a question of, are they? You could be not very good and be well coached. You could just be outmanned at every position and play competitive ball, but lose a lot of games. Pop's not a bad coach. We know he's able to sustain and maintain good basketball teams through good and bad, and yet, looking at the last 10, looking at the last 6 weeks, it has been a very steady decline, topped off by, and encouraged by, I should say, by injury and illness and family issues. But certainly the decline is there. Where do we place blame here?
It's just, you're looking at a team, and there's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's just a lot conspiring to turn the last month or so into just what we've seen from the Spurs. Spurs fans don't want to hear it. They yell at me on Twitter about making excuses, but the schedule is a thing. Like, it's killing them. It's killing them, and there's no respite from it. There's no rest from it. We can talk about, and probably you guys have, can Pop extend the rotation and sort of buy some minutes on some of the veterans' legs that way? I don't know. Maybe that's something to consider, but it's not just the schedule. The schedule they are a not very good team that is not playing very well. Let me back up. They're an average team. They're an okay team. When they have everything going, they can look pretty good. They're an okay team that is not playing very well and is also just being crushed by the schedule. And by the way, it's not just, they have to play a lot of games in a short amount of time. That's one part of it, but it's also, and we haven't even really hit this part yet, they also have to play a lot of games in a short amount of time against some of the best teams in the league. There's no cupcakes on the schedule to go. We're in the middle of 2 in Denver. They still got 3 to go against Phoenix, I believe, 2 to go against Utah. Philly's in there, Milwaukee's in there. They're not just there's not a spot in the schedule where you're like, if they just play decent for these 2 weeks, they can kind of get it back. In order to get it back, they're going to have to somehow miraculously start winning some of these games against teams that are better than them. That's just the only way it's going to happen.
And Jeff, as we visit with Jeff McDonald of the San Antonio Express News, you look at where this Spurs team is, and now below the 500 mark. They're probably going to lose again tonight, an important game Sunday against Dallas, and then probably staring at a couple of losses next week. At what point does Greg Popovich say, okay, it's more of a race to the bottom in the lottery as opposed to trying to get into the play-in tournament? Because right now they look like a lottery team that somehow it reminds me of Mike McCarthy last year with the Cowboys, because the NFC East was so bad, as awful as the Cowboys were, they were still in it. As bad as the bottom of the West is right now, the Spurs are playing bad, but technically they're still in it.
Yeah, they'll keep trying to play for the playoffs as long as there's hope for that, and I think there's some value in that, even if you just get to the play-in game. Maybe the best. Okay, so I know a lot of Spurs fans want that lottery. There's a split. Some people have a modicum of pride and want to get to the playoffs and do everything you can do to get to the playoffs. Some people just say, screw it, it's better off in the long term to get the lottery pick. We went through this last year as well. And I'm not going to judge either side. Both have merit. Maybe the best splitting the baby kind of right in the middle is for the Spurs to make that play-in tournament, so you get an extra game or 2, but you don't actually you don't win it. You don't actually make the field of 8, and then so you've got the quote unquote postseason experience, but you also get to go to the lottery. You get the best of both worlds. So maybe that's what you aim for. I don't know.
Jeff McDonald, I don't think there's much Pop.
I don't know that there's much Pop can do to make them worse. If you're talking about tanking or whatever, like they're doing a pretty good job of that on their own. And they're playing all the young guys. They're playing all the young guys that you want to see them play. I mean, I guess we can have an argument about Lukas Šamanić, but other than that, I mean, I don't really think there's a lot to be gained from just rolling Trey Jones out there for 48 minutes tonight, or rolling Quindary Weatherspoon out there for 48 minutes tonight. They're like all the young guys are in the rotation, and they're playing on a night. they're playing steady minutes on a nightly basis. So I don't. Unlike last year, where where in the middle of the season you could have had an argument about a Lonnie Walker or a Keldon Johnson. There's not those kind of guys that are being held back by the veterans. The Spurs have basically pared it down to 3 veteran guys, and that's what they're going to roll with. And I wouldn't be surprised if those guys end up with needing some rest days here down the stretch.
Absolutely.
As well.
So here we come. That idea of the oncoming schedule that's not only packed full, but it's full against very good teams. As we head into that, we've seen what we've gone over with the last 10. And, you talk about expanding the minutes and allowing, say, Devin Vassell maybe 20 minutes instead of 17, or just maybe growing it. But at what point do you think that the Spurs? I remember a term when I was in basic training and I was learning triage, and there's a word expectant, where you come to it and you go, well, there's not much we can do here. We'll keep you comfortable, but we got to move on and take care of other priorities. Will it be mathematical elimination from the playoffs before they become expectant, or will even that not hinder the ongoing chase to win every game? I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah, that would be my guess. I mean, we've seen this from this team over and over. They're going to fight to get in for as long as they can fight to get. You know what? I'm going to change my answer actually, because last year going into the bubble in Orlando, they still very much had a mathematical shot of making the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But decided going in for those final 8 games, that's not the priority. The priority is going to be to play Lonnie Walker and Keldon Johnson, and start Derek White and DeJounte Murray together. And we're not going to play Patty Mills at all. It's a development. That the 8-game season in the bubble was Pop and the Spurs going full on development at the expense of chasing a playoff berth. So I guess we do have some history to suggest that they might not go to the last gasp. They might not be dead enders. There might come up. I don't know where that point will be, but there might come a point where it just becomes, let's go all in on development and see where that takes us. That said, as I mentioned earlier, I don't know what that looks like, because last year when the Spurs did that in Orlando, there were some obvious moves for them to do. Like I just mentioned, there were young guys that weren't playing a lot at the NBA level that were now playing huge minutes. The Spurs don't have a lot. Like all those guys are now playing in the rotation for the Spurs. So I don't know what lever there is to pull. There are some, as you mentioned earlier, there's some smaller things you can do. But I don't know where that will go. But I think we do have a little bit of history to suggest that there could come a point that development becomes the key metric for the remainder of the season and not chasing the playoffs.
Jeff, we know you got to run because the pregame stuff is going to start here in a couple minutes. But before we let you go, is DeMar DeRozan's future in San Antonio?
Well, that's a good question. I want to say the answer is if he wants it to be. I don't think the Spurs are going to be able to sign anyone better than that this offseason. So if he's willing to go through this again, another season of sort of being the veteran face of a youth movement, I think it could happen. But I don't know if that's something that I haven't talked to him, so I'm not breaking news here. I just don't know if that's something that interests him at this point. But he can make the most money in San Antonio. So if that's important to him, maybe he stays. But it's hard for me to answer that question right now because I got to get in DeMar's head, and that's tough.
Good luck. Yeah,
I would say there would be interest on the Spurs part, I think, in keeping him around. I don't know how deep that interest goes, but there would be some interest for sure.
Jeff McDonald, the San Antonio Express News, is going to go hit the pregame right now. Thanks for stopping by, Jeff. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Jeff McDonald, the Express, joins us for Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Denver Nuggets tonight. We'll give you starting lineups. Look forward to a good win and get you ready for a weekend of basketball and golf. Hang around. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You know, we all like things to be easy and convenient, and New Brakes has done that with brake repair. Jason Minix here. New Brakes is a mobile brake shop, which means they'll come to you to fix your brakes, your home, your office, wherever you are, and they're going to fix your brakes without you having to interrupt your life and go to a shop and wait a couple hours or leave your car and go back and get it. You can be Sunday afternoon watching the Masters while New Brakes is outside fixing your brakes. That's what they do. They provide convenient and affordable brake repairs, and all they do is fix brakes. You're not going to get the upsells like at a traditional repair shop, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. New Brakes only uses premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. So if your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, go to nubrakes.com. Schedule your repair. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. They're great at what they do. Go read all their 5-star reviews and schedule your repair at nubrakes.com. Newbrakes.com.
Game nights, the Blitz goes silver and black.
This is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. 30 minutes before every game night on the Blitz.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, you get arrested, somebody you know gets arrested, you know, you need to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number, or go to the website, mybestbailbonds.com. You can even start the bonding process there online. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. A lot of reasons for that. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. While it might sound good, if the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before you accept it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. They have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, 225-2121, or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
When it comes to social distancing, if 6 feet is not enough with your spouse, it's probably time to change your status. Call the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. The Divorce Dude will help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude will fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. Call George, the Divorce Dude, 210-201-0303. That's 210-201-0303 or divorcedude.com.
Diamonds Direct Spectacular Store-Wide Spring Sale is on now for a limited time. Get an extra 20% savings on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, eternity bands, colored gemstones, gorgeous designer jewelry. It's our first spring sale in 2 years, and we're breaking all the rules. Top designers have flown in their entire collections, each piece on sale. 20% savings off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable value price. We're talking extreme value. Shop online or in store. Even open this Sunday noon till 5. Diamonds Direct, official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys, at the shops at La Cantera.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up any non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. With COVID continuing to spread, nothing matters more than having an accurate thermometer that's backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies, like the Exergen temporal scanner. Even after getting the COVID vaccine, you should be monitoring for fever to make sure you are protected. Keep your family and yourself safe by trading up your non-contact thermometer for an accurate temporal scanner and a $5 rebate from Exergen, where accuracy matters. Details at Exergen.com.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors that stand out in the Me Too snack aisle. Sea salt and cracked black pepper, pineapple ancho chili, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to higher flavor levels with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rind.
Howdy, San Antonio. Chip Ingram from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, inviting you to come out and enjoy patio season. We have newly remodeled patios, garage doors, and everything else you need to enjoy this great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks. Happy hours daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And our kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. See you soon at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road.
Parents, do you want your child's shoes to fit perfectly? Then you need to get your kids Skechers Stretch Fit shoes, because Skechers Stretch Fit shoes are so comfortable and so stretchy, they easily slip on and fit almost like a sock. Your child is constantly moving and constantly growing, so they need a shoe that moves with them. And Skechers Stretch Fit's soft, stretchable material contours to their busy feet. It's a perfect fit. And not only do they fit like a dream, they perform like one too. Skechers Stretch Fit keeps your child's feet comfortable all day long. With Skechers' exclusive air-cooled memory foam and a breathable Stretch Fit knit, your child will be cool and comfy whether playing, studying, or just hanging out. Plus, you'll love just how durable they are. Stretch Fit is designed to take everything your child can throw at them. And if they get dirty, just pop them in the washing machine. It's that easy. Give your kids perfect comfort that adjusts to them with Skechers Stretch Fit shoes. Find them at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever kids' shoes are sold.
Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is Manu Ginobili.
This is Matt Bonner, a.k.a. the Red Rocket, a.k.a. the Red Mamba, a.k.a. the Sandwich Hunter.
Hi, this is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This Game Night San Antonio is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom. Spurs got the Nugs tonight. It'll be an 8 o'clock tip up there on the Ball Sports. Oh no, it's Bally Sports in the Ball Arena.
Yes,
is that? And then we've been told that the Ball Corporation makes jelly jars, right? Mason jars. I think they need to come up with a better name, but they do get the Nugs tonight. The projected starting lineup. We do have good news. Lonnie Walker is back, but the projected starting lineup does not include him. DeJounte, Derek, Keldon, DeMar, and Jakob, our usual suspects. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Will Barton, and Nikola Jokic will take up arms with the Nugs tonight. Last we saw, Jokic 25 and 9 and 10, a near triple-double, and he could have upped any one of those numbers if he had so chosen to do it. And I say that Jakob had a good game. It wasn't like he didn't play well. He's just going up against the very best. The keys to victory, Jason, haven't changed. Don't turn the ball over. Slow the game or speed the game up. We know Denver's going to try to cut you up in the half court with Jokic being the passer scorer type. Get out in the transition and get back on D. It shouldn't be that hard. And I'll tell you, it worked the night before last, only for 2.5 quarters.
I mean, that's it. They played 3 good quarters the other night against Denver and ran out of gas in the fourth. They've lost 4 in a row. I was reading the things to watch for that Jeff Garcia puts out there and from Spurs Zone. And there's nothing in his 5 things to watch for tonight's game that actually would make you want to watch. It's almost comical. It says there's 5 things. And you're trying to come up with 5 good things, right? None of these are good. Spurs have lost 4 straight. During their losing streak, they ranked 29th in the NBA in three-point makes at 8.5 a game. During their losing streak, the Spurs ranked 28th in the NBA in fast break points at 7.5 a game. Denver is 4th in the NBA in points per game and 2nd in the league in assists per game. Tune in tonight at 8. I mean, my goodness, there's nothing there that says, unless you love misery, tune in. It's Friday.
Well, you're right. And year in and year out, these are the games that the Spurs perform at their best. I think Pop is really good at taking, imminent defeat. You're coming up against a really good team and taking them and letting them play loose. We heard from Keldon Johnson after shoot around yesterday, we're just going to go in and hoop. And I think that Pop is kind of stressing, like, get over yourself, get over the losses, and just go play basketball. Go with your instincts until I tell you not to. Go do that and don't get stuck in what I want you to do. Go do what you got to do. And let's go play some basketball. And those are the games that I think Pop coaches very well. The problem being these legs that they're running under are still exhausted. At some point, you're going to have to expand the bench, or we're going to see more and more load management type days, because when I last saw DeMar DeRozan, he looked flat gassed, done, cooked.
I mean, he did, and I know Pop is about to speak to the media, but I would encourage tonight to be one of those rest games, because you got Dallas on Sunday, and if you're chasing the playoffs, that is a much more important game than tonight, because I don't know that they can win tonight, and I hope they prove me wrong, but I don't know if they could win tonight, playing good basketball. We saw that the other night. Denver is just that good and that much better than the Spurs are playing right now. And, it's interesting because we think about the vet guys and the amount of minutes that Rudy Gay has been getting, the amount of minutes that Patty Mills is getting, the amount of minutes that DeMar is getting. And, based on performance, Rudy Gay probably shouldn't be getting those minutes, but he's one of those veteran guys. And Keldon Johnson did say something that probably warrants more so than what's showing up on the stat sheet for getting minutes, but those vet guys are helping and doing what they can when they're out there on the floor.
We got great vets on our team, so
I mean, every time we step on the court, we respect, and we know that we can win the game. So, I mean, when they make runs, we know basketball's a game of runs. So when we go out there, they make runs, we make runs. So we know we can't get our head down when they make a run.
You know, and I like hearing Keldon say when they step on the floor, they believe they can win. Because when I hear we've had a lot of good practices, and it's good in practice, because, I mean, he said that too.
I mean, shoot-around was great.
Great. I'm glad you had a great shoot-around. I don't expect you to tell me anything others. And even if you had bad shoot-around, you're going to tell me you had a good shoot-around. I mean, but it's shoot-around. It should be good. But at least it sounds like this team hasn't lost confidence, even though most of these guys aren't used to losing. Most of these guys aren't used to being on a losing team. And at what point do you worry about the mental side of what this team is going through?
If I'm getting minutes and I'm hitting shots, losing doesn't hurt quite so bad. So I think one of those things, those guys are, I think they all are suffering because they're fighting for minutes and they're trying to find out what the rhythm is going to be. Tonight, we're not going to have any Gorgie Dang. Is that correct? He's going to be out.
Yeah, he's out, but you get Lonnie Walker back, but probably on a minutes restriction. Spurs haven't said that, but history says he'll get limited minutes.
There's no help coming for Jakob Poeltl. He is going to have to. I wonder how many times Jakob and Jokic have played each other over the years, both European bigs. I'm sure they first saw each other when they were probably 12 or 13 back in the day and had played against each other for a long time. Jakob does a pretty decent job against Jokic, but that's not enough when you're dealing with Jokic. You can shut down one thing, but he's going to get two others or three others to beat you. Where's the help going to come tonight? What will be the key to victory as you see it? Is it going to be an increased scoring from one individual? Will it be a sounder defensive idea and just kind of slowing them down a little bit more? Or will it be pressing the ball and getting it up and down the court and taking Denver out of their comfort zone?
I'm going to go a completely different route. I mean, based on if they can play a similar game plan that they had the other night, which looked like a really good game plan for about 3 minutes, they got to knock down threes. I mean, they're taking enough of them. Eventually, those threes are going to drop. You would hope. I mean, they took a ton of threes the other night.
Well, a ton for them. I wouldn't call it a ton for the rest of the NBA.
I don't have the box in front of me from last game, but it was like 27 or something, wasn't it? It
was upper 20s. It was a lot, and they were shooting about 25% from that.
Yeah,
it wasn't high percentage.
7 of 27. If they can get that 7 to 12. They got a chance to win this game. That's the only way. You got to knock down threes.
Volume.
They're taking them. They're taking them. Knock them down.
They're taking them, but they were taking them covered. They're not taking open threes. They're taking them. They're covered threes. Well, actually, there's something to be said for that. And I do think that the spreading of the ball is going to be important tonight, if not just tonight, as the Spurs continue on. The Nuggets look like a team that took them lightly. And I don't think that the Spurs did anything to dissuade the Nuggets that they don't need to take them lightly again. And that might be the opportunity. Year in, year out, these are the games that the Spurs somehow find a way to be competitive in. And let's hope that they get that because it's not getting any easier. And the games are going to continue to come. And there are more injuries to be had and more rest days to be had on a team that just isn't playing very well. So I think we got to start looking for incremental growth, as you just said. Be competitive, and let's see if we can get yourself in a position to win a basketball game, and then we'll try to figure out if you can actually win it. But I do want to see those younger guys play tonight. We need threes. Vassell, uncork it. Let's go. Let's do something tonight, Lonnie, welcome back. Loosen that wrist up. Just shoot and go have fun. Go hoop, as Keldon said.
Going to do it. Happy birthday, Pledge.
James Pledger is 40, and Brandon Medina, welcome to brand new, beautiful baby girl. April 9th, a red letter day in the life of ESPN San Antonio. Celebrate appropriately, San Antonio. Keep yourself safe. We'll talk about it all on Monday. It's been game night, San Antonio.
It's time for ESPN San Antonio's Big Score. This hour's keyword is North Side. Enter that keyword at ESPNSA.com for your chance to win $1,000.